Hi everybody, I'm Carly.
I'm Ella.
And this is Kids in the Kitchen.
Yeah, Kids in the Kitchen.
So today we wanted to do something fun again. So we've got some puff pastry and we're going to make
Vegemite scrolls.
pinwheels.
That's what I meant, pinwheels. Same thing.
I didn't feel like making any dough today, so we're just doing it with puff pastry. So there is puff pastry on the market that is vegan friendly, and it's generally the home brand ones that they use, obviously like an oil or a margarine. There's no actual butter in this puff pastry, so this is just, I think, the Woolworths home brand pastry. And just let it take a piece out, let it defrost, and then just like any other thing, you can do whatever flavor you want. So I'm going to be making Vegemite and cheese, and Ella's going to use the leftover marinara sauce from yesterday and be making like a pizza pinwheels. And so with the cheese, instead of using up my cashew cheese that we used yesterday on top of the pizza, I've made a really quick little cheese sauce just in the microwave. It's literally just soy milk, corn flour, nutritional yeast, and some herbs and spices. And it takes like 2 minutes in the microwave. So we've got that sauce, and then that's easier to spread over our pastry. So let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is cover your pastry sheet in your marinara sauce, and I'm going to do mine with Vegemite. And our oven is on preheating. So put a couple of dobs on there, and then I grabbed out Mummy's big spatula, so it's easy for you to spread it today.
Done it already.
So depending on how much flavour you want, you do your Vegemite to your desired flavour taste. If you want lots of Vegemite or if you want a little bit of Vegemite, but you want to make sure it covers the whole pastry sheet and just leave. So I'll just do an imaginary line here, Ella. See that line?
Yep.
Don't cover that line with sauce, because when we roll it, we want some pastry left over at the end that doesn't have any, probably even a little bit lower, that doesn't have any sauce on it, so it's easier to roll and hold it together.
It's a lot harder than it looks.
It is a lot harder, I know, but that's why I gave you this. Watch. Spread, spread. Is that a bit easier?
A lot easier.
A lot easier? Okay, give that a go.
Spread. Spread, spread.
A couple of people watching. I'm not sure who, because no names have come up, but it says a few people are watching us, which is good. Hope everybody's enjoying these videos and finding themselves entertained or inspired to get in and make a couple of things in the kitchen with your kids, because while we're in this shutdown mode, we need to keep all our family members occupied by doing something fun. And cooking is actually a really great life skill to learn. It's also really good for those kids that are at home now doing some schoolwork at home because the schools have shut down. Cooking actually really incorporates a lot of incidental learning, is what we call it in our homeschool life. So you've got science, you've got maths, you've got English if you're reading a recipe. There's lots of different things that cooking covers. Okay, so now you can start putting your pepperoni all over. Oh, actually no, because we got sauce here, we'll do the sauce first, because if it was grated cheese, then yes, do that at the end, but because this is sauce, cheese sauce, we're going to put that on first. So with your spatula...
Grated cheese.
No, I'm not using grated cheese today, I'm using sauce. I wanted to use a different ingredient. Come on, grab your spatula and spread it out the same way. Doesn't matter that there's sauce on the bottom of it. So we're just spreading out our cheese sauce over the top of whatever flavourings you're doing. You could use like grated cheese, you could use Parmesan cheese, you could use whatever you want. I'm just using a cheese sauce because it's easier and cheaper, to be honest. Okay, so
it doesn't cost anything.
Yeah, this cheese sauce is super cheap to make this one, so as opposed to the other one, it is a lot cheaper. Okay, now you can pop your pepperoni on there.
Yes.
And while she's doing the pepperoni, we'll start with this one and rolling. So I've left my thing at the bottom here, so I'm going to turn it around. And all you want to do, so it's going to be different depending on whether you've got chunky fillings. You want to cover the whole lot.
I know.
Come on. You want to just get your pastry and roll.
Remember, kids, this is not pizza making, so you can't make any funny faces.
No, because we've got to chop it up. So you want to make sure that you've got pepperoni all over the sides, because otherwise you'll end up with scrolls without any pepperoni. And you want to just roll this up. Now obviously this one's not going to be very thick because there's no chunky fillings like say the pizza. Very good. Okay, now fill the rest of the gaps in, otherwise you're going to have pinwheels with no pepperoni. We don't want that. Do we? So you just want to keep rolling until you've rolled up your dough.
I've heard there's a season 3 of that. Yeah, never mind.
Okay, so then we've got our dough rolled up, and that little edge at the top that had no filling on it, it's managed to grab onto the other piece of pastry on the other side. So there we've got our...
There.
Very good. Okay, so we'll just spread these out a bit so that we've got pepperoni all over.
Good idea.
Where are you going?
Nowhere.
So now we need to roll this up. Actually, try to put the pieces sideways because it's going to make it easier.
Horizontal.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just say horizontal?
Well, because I didn't. Okay, so now we want to roll it up. I'll get you started and then you can roll up like what Mummy did on her side. So you just pull your pastry sheet over. There we go. Now start rolling. It might be easier to pick it up from here, like that. See? Make sure that's tucked in and then pick it up and roll it over again. That's it. And then keep going until you've rolled it all the way to the end. Pick this up like that. Okay, and you want to make sure that you've tucked it in so that there's not big gaping holes in your pinwheel.
Doesn't that let out the steam?
Oh, it'll actually let out the filling. Okay, so it's all rolled up. Now you need to get a knife. You've got one there?
Why didn't you say so earlier?
And depending on how thick you want your pinwheels, gently cut it down without squeezing down. And then you can see there's the pinwheel shape, and you pop that on your mat. How about you leave the cutting for Mummy?
Yes.
Or you try cutting this one because there's not a lot of filling in it, so this one's a bit easier. But
yes.
when you're cutting, because the dough is soft, you don't want to push down, you want to go backwards and forwards like a saw. Okay, and that will stop it from getting too squished.
Get back and forth like a saw, got it.
And then pop it on your... So see how Ella on this side has pushed down and it's squished the pinwheel? That's alright, we can just squeeze it together like that.
Really? Why, world?
Okay, and we'll do this one, seesawing backwards and forwards gently to keep your pinwheel shape. There's your pinwheel shape, and you pop it on your tray.
And I think
there's your pinwheel shape. And this one's a bit tougher because it's got filling in it, but if you've got no filling, it's also better to do this when your pastry is defrosted but not too soft. We've probably left this too long waiting to get ready for the video, and that's what's making it a little bit harder over here. Okay, just stop for a second.
why, world? Why?
Because you weren't listening. I said to do it slowly and gently.
Yes, you said back and forth like a seesaw.
Deep breaths, mamas. Deep breaths. Okay, now don't squish it. Okay, so we'll come back over here so the camera can see. Gently backwards and forwards. And then take it off. See? There's your pinwheel shape. Just takes practice. This is why we're doing these, so everybody can practice. Gently backwards and forwards.
Practice.
And then these only take probably maybe about 10-15 minutes in the oven, if you've got your oven already preheated. There you go, you can pop those two on the tray. And I'll cut the rest of these ones up.
This is so hard to pick up. Oh, always keeps dropping out.
Give me strength. Hi, Megan.
Hi, Megan.
Alright, so once they've cooked, they're nice and crispy and crunchy. You can eat them. If there's any leftovers, these sort of things freeze really well. They make a great lunchbox snack for when the kids are back at school.
Which they won't be for 100 years, I hope.
That's not very nice. I'm sure there's lots of kids that are dying to get back to school. Not every child hates school like you do.
Well,
Okay, so that's it.
every child in the world who's on my side.
Right, so there's our pinwheels.
Please give me strength.
They're not perfectly shaped because our dough was very soft, but that's okay, you get the idea. So this is what they look like. Oops, one just fell over. So we've got our pinwheels. We'll pop them in the oven for about 10-15 minutes, and then once they're done, I'll take a photo of how they come out and pop it up on the page. So that's it. Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. We might try to come back later on this afternoon and do another video. What do you reckon? We'll see. We'll see how time goes. If not, we'll be back tomorrow for another Kids in the Kitchen.
Yes.
Yeah?
Another kiss in the kitchen.
Bye.
Bye.